All right, welcome to the fourth and final review of the evening. Up this time is Yogurt Commercial 3. Travel the world amassing power in order to create the ultimate yogurt commercial of all time in this sandbox puzzle adventure game. Right, so I'm sure the first question that comes to mind is, is there a yogurt commercial one and or two? The answer is no. For some reason, they just called this Yogurt Commercial 3,
Huh.
and they do act like this is sort of the third game in a series. Like more in the more about a sequel, like they'll mention Yogurt Commercial 4, which also doesn't exist.
And they aren't like Flash games, are they?
No, at least as far as I can tell.
Fair enough, because I could see something like this. The first ones were Flash games, you know?
The point is, if there are Yogurt Commercial 1 and 2 in existence, they're not on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, where do I begin with this? Because this game is kind of... Once again, like... At first, I thought this was like a mini game or something along the... We have occasionally gotten games that are very influenced by Adult Swim and things of that nature. And this is sort of along those lines, but this is also a real game as well. Like, it's an actual adventure game with actual goals and puzzles and stuff of that affair. But it's also very much like, I would not go into this thinking like an old school point and click adventure game, despite the graphics on display here. Like this game kind of looks like something that was built for 1980s computers. But this is more what I'm talking about. Like, you can do a lot of stuff. Like, you want to flush that glass down the toilet? You theoretically can. Or lifting that ice box. Well, you need a certain thing in order to do that. Yeah, you got to put, then flush.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that did anything, but it's a thing you can do.
Yeah.
That's the sandbox part of this sandbox adventure game. You don't actually have to go and do the main goal, which is go and make yogurt commercials. That's not hyperbole or joke or anything. The main quest is to make yogurt commercials. If you're done with the toilet proceedings here, you can go and go show that off.
Yeah. I probably could. Ah, that is a dapper man. Anyway.
Yeah. And you'll note your list of commands here. You've got your, the things you can say, or you can also insult and threaten someone.
I don't think I'm going to threaten or insult the mayor.
You can do that.
I know I can.
Or you can do other things to him. You can do other things to... You can... Yeah. Meet fight mode. Yeah, you can go down and punch this person.
Yeah.
Like, here's the thing: the fight controls are actually really awkward.
As it would be. I'm imagining our little homie over here is probably not a trained fighter.
Well, it's more the control configuration because you're using WASD, and if I'm remembering correctly, F is the punch button. So it's a bit off to the side. Here's that thing that you need to lift heavy objects.
Well then.
Yep. So here's the thing. Anytime you pick up an item, it gets put into your inventory, as like your cosmic inventory. Like it'll tell you that if I'm remembering correctly, it'll explain this. Like anything you pick up will appear in your closet or your dresser if it's clothes. Mm-hmm. Yeah. See, the thing you picked up there was a potion of strength, which allows you to do a few things.
New item. Potion.
Yeah. So if you... Mm-hmm.
So I will go into the closet and get the potion.
Mm-hmm.
And then drink potion?
Not yet.
Oh.
Okay, what you want to do is you want to go outside. Well, you or stash that. Stash the potion because if you drop it, it'll spill. You can't get no more potion for the rest of the day. Now go and pick up the refrigerator.
Oh.
Yeah, it only lasts a little while.
Oh. Oh, God.
Oh.
I imagine that probably would have killed me if it fell over on me, wouldn't it?
Possibly.
Alright, anyway.
You just drop a heavy object if you can't hold it anymore. But the thing is, you need that strength potion in order to solve a puzzle that's nearby. Let's see. In the screen over to your left, there is a forest that is guarded by a knight in armor.
I'm guessing you're talking about outside?
Yes. Can't do anything with the mirror, as far as I could tell. You can watch television. Like, anyway, as far as getting back to the yogurt commercials, that involves like, well, the first one was just really dead simple. Just eating yogurt on screen. But
Adam, you still there?
yeah, I'm here.
All right.
Yeah. So what? Yeah. See, keep going. So, yeah, keep going. You can get this stick. Even use it as a weapon. Yeah. So, a solution to this puzzle in order to deal with the night is to go and get the strength potion, drink it, and then punch the ever-living shit out of this guy. This will serve a dual purpose. Drink, stash, and punch.
Oh, man. I think I killed a man.
Not yet. Now that he's knocked out, grab his armor.
And the sword.
And helmet. Yeah. Yeah, grab his sword.
Oh.
You actually... Yeah.
He got back up because he was trapped in the fridge. I couldn't reach him.
Well, yeah, that's why you use the sword to stab him.
Oh, I actually need to use the sword to end the man?
Yeah. Or you keep punching him until he dies. Because it turns out he's going to be very pissed off when he wakes up.
I mean, valid.
But now that you have the sword, you can, well, pretty much stab anyone and kill them. I did this during my run. Here's the thing. People will revive the next day. Yeah. Now, stabbing people, not the optimal way to handle things. You actually want to knock them out in order to get their full set of clothes. If you stab them, there's a good chance you might destroy their hats. Clothing and hats are separate articles of clothing. And this is part of the main quest. You know, the whole making yogurt commercials. But you don't actually have to make yogurt commercials.
Fine.
Like, next thing that you should do is call a fireman.
With the sword?
If you want. But the thing that you're going to want to do is mug him and get his clothes. There is a purpose for this. I assure you.
Anyway, I think you have more stuff to talk about.
I mean, this is basically the game here. I mean, the game is kind of, you know, what you want to do. You know, in terms of, like, actually doing the yogurt commercial stuff, it follows along the same lines of logic here. You know, it's just, yeah. Yeah, the thing is, you want to get his clothes because they make you fireproof.
Mm.
And, you know, if you're fireproof, you can get past the lava to the screen to the right. Also, one of the yogurt commercials involves having a fireman eat yogurt on camera. And they pretty much say the easiest way to do that is steal firefighters' clothing and just eat the yogurt on camera. You know, there's a commercial where you have to take yogurt with the mayor, and you have to get the big ass camera over to mayor's office. That's with the strength potion in the camera. Yeah, take outfit, take hat. Yep. Now you're fireproof.
Oh man, free clothes.
Yep. Yeah, don't worry, he can't chase after you once you've left the screen. And sometimes a black hole will appear in your house.
Fine.
Which leads to another dimension. Which leads to another quest. Like I said, this game is actually fairly involved.
So what all this leads me up to is, at what point do we have to throw a baby into a pond for points?
I'm not sure.
At what
but
point do I need to give a stick to a snake for it to become a horse?
Honestly, both those scenarios are very plausible with this game. I mean, look at this. Like, honestly, the logic is easier to follow here than some classical adventure games. Like, or in regards to the baby thing, it'd probably just allow you to do that 'cause. Like I said, this game is not above.
It was Peasant's Quest where you had to do that to get maximum points.
I know that is a Peasant Quest reference, but I'm saying this game is not above any, or at least most forms of depravity. Like, there's an achievement for cannibalism here. And you can eat your own vomit.
Sure.
And of course, if you cut people up with the sword, they explode in a bunch of bloody giblets. Get the yogurt, drink the yogurt. Start. Drink.
Yeah.
And that's your main quest.
Yay. So is there anything else we need to go into, or?
Not really, except for you see the calculation screens. It will take into account anything you do on screen.
So if I were to just shiv that Nerval guy,
it will come up.
Good to know.
So the overall point here is this is much more of a traditional game than it first appears. You know, like it's got actual goals and quests, which puts it well above a lot of other so-called comedy games we've covered on the program.
Yeah, and this one they're talking about fire. So yeah, I wonder what that's for.
Yeah. I think I'm safe in calling this a comedy game, or at least it's attempting to be one. You know, I'm not saying the humor will be something that people will get, but it's very deliberately trying to be humorous.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so here's the thing. This is a perfectly decent game. It's not amazing or anything like that. But it's a lot less logically restricted than a lot of old school adventure games, or really even a lot of new school adventure games, now that I think about it. You know. So, I don't know, it's just, this game is kind of hard to recommend for what it is, because what it is a bit on the icky side of the equation. So, in terms of pricing, let me see here. This game clocks in at $9.99, which I guess is a fair price. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how large this game is, but mainly because since I'm left-handed, doing WASD here was agony. Like, that just... WSD does not feel comfortable with my hand here. I use arrow keys.
Fair.
But that's a me thing. You know, in terms of, like, just objective controls, it's fine. Like I said, less point and clicky than you'd expect it to be, because you use the WASD for all movement, as opposed to, like, and that is something that you would have done with like an 80s, one of the earlier King's Quest or Space Quest games, as opposed to something from the 90s where you just use the mouse for everything. Anyway, Petty, you've been playing the game. Is there anything you wish to add to the proceedings here?
It's a game.
Like, honestly, it is, which is more than I was expecting at the time. I'll be honest. Like I said, this is probably the most surprising game of the year, for me at least, because, like I said, I was just expecting a total fucking disaster. And, I got something that's decently playable, which feels like a fucking miracle when it comes to something like this. Anyway, so that'll about do it for this week's reviews and this review session. Coming up on the week ahead, as a reminder, Moonhawk Studios Presents, MSP, is on break until next season, which I suppose is good for us because we don't have to worry about time as much as we usually do. Anyway, so coming up on Wednesday, May 1st, we'll be having Gregory McMartin of Interdimensional Games. We will be talking about the Consortium franchise, specifically Consortium VR, which is the upcoming Consortium game. And we do have a Friday show as well, as we'll be welcoming Jeff C. of Little Crown Games. He is the creator of Plungeroo, of which we got codes recently. But Plungeroo is a colorful puzzle game about tinkering with mini pinball cabinets. No quick reflexes or quarters required. Maneuver your ball through pop bumpers, flippers, and more until you become a pinball wizard. So look for that on Friday. And until next time, I shall wish you good gaming.